All right, let's get into it. This isn't really a story about finance, not at its core. It's a story about transformation. And here's the thing. You're the main character. We're going to follow your journey, your climb, all the way from the absolute ground floor of the financial world to the very, very top. And it all starts right here with this number, $847 million. Just let that sink in for a second. That's the scale of the world you've just stepped into. It's an amount of money that's almost impossible to really wrap your head around. And guess what? It's now your responsibility. But, and this is the crazy part, the central tension of your entire new life, that massive number, it's not yours. It's never going to be your money. You get all this power, this incredible influence over something you will never ever own. And that creates this detachment, right? This professional distance that is going to shape absolutely everything that comes next. Because remember, it's not your money. It's never your money. You're just the one who has to model it. So, welcome to stage one. You're an analyst. This is the ground floor, the beginning of it all. Picture this. It's almost midnight. You've been awake for 19 hours straight? And that pitch book, it's due at 6 a.m. Yeah, this is where the real work, the real grind begins. And trust me, this whole process, it's designed to fundamentally change you. See, at this level, your identity, it's just gone. It's stripped away and replaced by your utility. Who you are as a person, it just doesn't matter, not one bit. What matters is what you can produce. That's everything. You're not a person anymore, you're a function. You're a gear in a massive, complex machine. And what are you producing? Well, it's decks, it's financial models, it's comps, it's memos, over and over. These are the physical, tangible products of your entire existence. You're not sitting in on client calls, you're not in the negotiation room. Nope, you are at a desk, way up on the 31st floor, and your only job is to produce. That's it. That's your whole world now. So you're probably thinking, why would anyone do this? Why put up with the insane hours, the lost weekends? Well, this is why. This is the belief that fuels you through it all. You understand it on a gut level. Getting close to real power, to the actual flow of capital, that's not something you're just given. It's not a right. It's something you have to earn. You earn it with every single sacrifice, one Excel model at a time. But you do it. You survive. And eventually, you get that promotion. So welcome to the next level. Now you're a VP, and down the road, a managing director. And things are different now. The focus isn't just on your technical skills anymore, not at all. Now you have to learn how to play the game. And this really shows you that fundamental shift, right? As an analyst, your whole world was that model. You were chained to a desk, totally focused on the numbers. But now, as a VP or an MD, you're managing the client. You're sitting in the negotiation room. And your focus has shifted from clean numbers to the messy human reality of leverage. And this is where it happens. Your first real moral compromise. You're in the middle of a deal and you absolutely know the acquisition is overpriced. But you say nothing, not a word. The bank makes a cool $12 million in fees. And you don't feel guilty. Instead, you get this strange feeling of clarity. You feel like you finally understand one of the unwritten rules of the game. So you leave the bank, you've pretty much mastered the whole advising game, and now it's time for the next big leap. You're done being an advisor, you're ready to be an owner. So you join a private equity firm, and just like that, the power, and oh yeah, the risk, it just went through the roof. And here's the real difference boiled down. Back at the bank, you were advising on deals. You collected a fee. You built leverage for other people. But in private equity, you're the one deploying the capital. You're the one taking control. You're the one who owns the assets. See the shift? You're not just playing the game anymore. You are the game. Now, as your power grows, something else grows with it. Your distance from the consequences of your actions. You start to learn a new language, this corporate dialect that's designed specifically to create emotional distance. It's a tool, really, and its main job is to insulate you. Just think about these words for a second. Let's say you acquire a company, and you know that means 800 people are going to lose their jobs. But on the board call, you never say, we're firing 800 people. No way. You talk about restructuring and right-sizing. You talk about finding synergies to create operational leverage. See what that language does? It sanitizes the whole thing. It turns a massive human impact into a clean, strategic abstraction.
After a while, individual deals, they just start to feel kind of small. Your whole perspective expands. You stop thinking about just one company at a time, and you start thinking about the entire system, the whole shebang. So you make another move. You join a global macro fund. Now you're trading currencies, sovereign debt, complex derivatives. You're playing on a global scale. So what does that actually look like? Well, take this trade. For 8 months, you've been quietly, patiently building a position based on a thesis you have about Japan. Then, just like you thought, the Bank of Japan changes its policy. And boom, in 1 week, the fund makes $380 million. And you feel nothing. It's just data, you close the position and move on to the next one.
And that's the key difference at this level, you know? Regulators, the media, pretty much everyone else, they're always looking backwards. They're analyzing what already happened. But your job is to live in the future. It's to position capital for things that haven't even happened yet. It's not illegal or anything. It's just asymmetric. You're playing a different game on a different timeline. And that brings us to the end of the line, the pinnacle of this entire journey, your final form. We're talking about a level of influence that is so profound, it's beyond job titles, it's beyond being on magazine covers, it's way beyond the daily noise of the market. You become the architect. At this point, your advantage isn't just about having better information or being faster. It's about synthesis. It's about seeing how all the pieces connect, markets, politics, capital flows, human behavior, and understanding it so deeply that you can actually see the structure of what's coming. You're not guessing anymore. You're just reading the system before it even makes a move. And your life? It's completely unrecognizable. You have a security detail now. You actually request for your name to be removed from public lists like Forbes. You personally haven't executed a trade in like 11 years. You don't have to. Your job is just to make the decisions. A handful of people you trust implicitly, then make it happen. So what did all this cost you? This is the final, brutal calculation. All those things that make up a normal human life, privacy, trust, real freedom, deep human connections. You didn't just lose those things by accident along the way. No, you deliberately exchanged them for this level of power. It was a transaction, pure and simple. Words like happy or sad, they don't even really apply to you anymore. Those categories dissolved a long, long time ago. They've been replaced by a new state of being. It's called orientation. What is it? It's a permanent, constant read of the environment around you. A constant, almost machine-like positioning of capital against risk. It's not a feeling, it's just who you are now. And that's the final twist. The final revelation. That 23-year-old you, walking into that glass tower on day one, he thought this was all about making money, getting rich. He was so wrong. It was never about the money. It was always, always about understanding and eventually controlling the hidden architecture that runs the entire world. And here's the thing. The machine, it never stops. Right now, as we speak, another young analyst is logging into their Bloomberg terminal for the first time, starting this exact same journey. Which leaves us with one final question, and it's not for them, it's for you. What would you be willing to exchange?